Yo, what's up guys? I'm back. I'm back for reviews, so be happy about that if you're in the video. Um, I want to try to get as many done as I can today, while still maintaining some valuable farming time for my main account, because I need to get my units up to max level and all that for my next star. But let's start. We're here with Yooniverze. His question is, I think he has more than one. Yeah, he has some questions. Which monster do 6-star for Dungeons and Arena? I'm thinking between Tyrone, Acasis, and Hawa. Okay. Second, I watched your Giants V10 and I was wondering if I can do it with the monster I already have and check if my runes are right. So he just is wondering if he has the team set up with the monster he has, and if the runes are right. And then which monsters 5 and 6 to focus on for that question. I'm not 100% sure what you mean by that, because well, let's just go into it. You want to know what to 6-star for Dungeons and Arena, right? You've been thinking about Wa, Cases, and Tyrone. Since Dungeons and Arenas are pretty far apart from them, I gotta tell you that it's kinda hard for me to tell you what to 6-star first. I mean, for Dungeons, Wa and the Cases are very strong. The only thing that I do want to say is that a Cases is kind of the other side of the spectrum when it comes to how to beat the dungeon than a Wa is. And why do I say that? Well, a Wa basically means if you get his speed up high enough and he has a nice amount of accuracy, you will slow down the boss. And if you could get it that she is fast enough, you could make sure that the boss barely attacks at all. Which means a Cases is kind of unnecessary, because a Cases puts a shield on that makes you survive those hits. So a Cases is more of the surviving type, and a Wa is more of the killing, like on the slowing side. And I think a Wa is the better option. I think a Wa is overall just better for most things, because in T-Weight 100, for example, if you have a Wa that's fast enough, you could let it be that the giant or the boss barely attacks at all. He only attacks if the crystal on the, I think it's on the left or the right. No, it's on the right. The crystal on the right gives him that speed. But what you could do is just attack the boss, so he won't attack, and then attack the crystal, so that doesn't go off, and you could switch between them if you're fast enough. So I think Wa is the better option here. If you would look at dungeons, if you look at the arena, then it's definitely going to be Tyrone, I guess. But I must say it's quite hard for me to get, like, there's no, you can't compare PvE to PvP. That's the problem. I think Wa could be used in PvP, but he's not the best in PvP. I think that goes the same for Cases, because the Cases is a good unit, but she's not the best for PvP. Don't get me wrong, they're being used quite a lot on defense, and it could be very good, especially if you have a team that can sustain the Cases, because then every 3 turns you get those shields, and those are annoying as fuck. But I think you will gain the most benefit from getting... Tough call, man. Because a Cases, the thing is, what a Cases does for you is she gives you that, like, units with lower health pools will become more reliable because they will survive longer. But Hawa will just give you more damage overall, and she will sustain herself because she has high health. Then I think a Cases is still actually the best for PvE to go about, because then your other units you have that you can use will probably survive a lot longer, which basically helps you kill giants and everything. So I think I'm gonna say a Cases. I think she will benefit the most, and she will help the rest of the team the most. Since Hawa is not a damage dealer unit, it's because of her skills. I think that's the reason why I say Cases. I think I should do a cases, leave a while on 5 stars for now, and then for example get your Tyrone to 6 star after that. Something like that. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I'm sure about the cases, so get a cases to 6 star. You watched my video B10 and you were wondering if you could do it already with the monsters you have. So let's see. That means that you have all the monsters, right? Yeah, I think by the looks of it. So you have a cases. That's actually more reason for getting him to 6 star, because yeah, that will help you out quite a bit. I'll check his runes. Swift with accuracy, ice. I personally would make this an HP percent rune. Because yes, okay, it does some decent amount of damage, attack, but her skills are weak as fuck. Like, her skills are not meant to do much damage. And since you have the accuracy rune on the 6th slot, that means you want to hit those windy cuts, right? You want to try to get those on when you can. So basically what I would say is make this HP percent, because it's not worth going for attack, because a cases doesn't for... Okay, sorry, I got a call. You won't notice that, but I just said it because I probably cut the video for some reason. So what I was saying is, because you have an accuracy rune here, it means you want to get the damage done by the windy cut, so switch this rune to HP percent. That's pretty necessary, because then your case is a lot more reliable. And make him your next 6 star, right? Okay, then we got Bernard. You have a decent amount of speed, that's good. You got no accuracy, that's bad. You need to get that. Switch this rune to... I know it's a good rune, but you need to get accuracy percent on that. Well, you got good runes all around, so yeah, get this rune to accuracy percent, man. Because you need the accuracy. For arena you need the accuracy, but also for PvE. And then this unit would be great. Obviously you need to upgrade some of the runes, but then still, it's a great unit then. You got this rune here. This has to become accuracy percent, sadly. And a 6 star, that's pretty nice. But that will work. And then we got the Rakhaya. I think you need him at 6 star to make him work. Sorry, 5 star, sorry. I think you need him at 5 star to make him work, otherwise he just doesn't have enough health. Try to get an HP percent on 6, and then he should be fine. Then we got the Shannon. You need to rune him up. Just make her your second fastest unit, so she buffs up. And what I think is useful is using her as despair, because that will help you get you through the stage a lot easier, because she can stun. So I think definitely you have the correct units, the good runes on them. I'm not sure if you're gonna use her as damage dealer or not. What is your... because she will get like inflicts contingent if you get... that's a possibility. Okay, you could use Yen as your damage dealer. You also can use Hwa for your damage, but then you won't gain any resistance buff on her, which could cause you some trouble. But the fact that she slows down the enemy, actually Hwa is probably useful even in that team as DPS, because she slows the boss constantly and takes away his attack gauge, which basically means he barely attacks, and when he attacks it's just a counter attack that he could heal through or shield up from. And I think Hwa is a good option here. So I think you could even use Hwa. I know that's not like logical towards the setup, but the basics around the setup is that you have all the correct skills that grant, like glancing hit, defense break, slow, buff, and attack break, and a great heal. That's basic about those 4 units, and that's why you could basically add anything else for the DPS as long as it works. And I think a while will work. So yeah, I think if you rune up your Shannon and make your Rakhaya and your Shannon the 5 stars, you should be ready to go. You had another question. And that was something, what do 5 or 6, I think, which months should I focus on like arena? That's, if I'm not 100% sure if that's the correct question, but that's what I thought you meant. So let's see, Tyron is one of the leaders. He's always going to be your leader there. Pretty much. I think you need some DPS, but what should we use? You got quite some good units, man, but the problem is you have to get them. You already have the light units that you want, like Belladon and Darien. Those are more for the defense. You got a light imp even, that's also a good one. Okay, let me think. And yeah, you have, like, your light units are already complete, but you just need to level them at some point. But they're not the main priority right now. For arena, I would run Tyrone, Dark Phantom Thief. That's pretty good. Did you rune him up? Yeah, you did. Rage. I'm not so sure about the speed here. Is that smart to do? I don't really see the point why you would use speed on him. I mean, I guess you just had this rune and he had good raid substats. So I agree on that point, but I'm not sure if that's the way to go. I think a raw attack percent rune is better than this. Because he doesn't need the speed, he just needs to hit hard. You have yeah, I think you should make this an attack percent rune. And then Tyrone, Guillaume, Megan or Bernard, but I think Megan is fast enough on your team. Well, not yet, but you have the runes to be fast enough. You could also take Bernard with you, because he's pretty fast when you level up his runes, and he can speed up your team and break the defense, which will help your Dark Phantom Thief to hit really hard. But what would we add more? I think an AoE unit might be useful as well. Maybe, oh wait, I know what you should do. Where is he? I would go, let me just check one thing out. Does he have defense break? No. Okay, I would go Tyrone, Tigros, that's a fire inferno, Dark Phantom Thief, Megan, or Bernard, or both, but I prefer to go with just one attack buffer. This does require your Megan to become really fast, this setup, but what happens is the following. You lead off with Megan, so you buff, right? Okay, just one thing to say. You could also switch out Megan for Bernard, but your damage will be lower, but you will outspeed them. So that's something you have to take into account, if that's a possibility or not. I think it is when your runes are good enough. But let's say we have Megan and she goes first, right? She buffs up, you get attack and defense buff, and the rest of your units should be able to go. After that, I think you should let either Tyrone or Tarogas go. Let's see who's. I think Tyrone is faster. Yeah, a lot faster. So Tyrone, that's fine. Yeah, then Tyrone goes, and she will do Hailstorm, getting some of their units frozen, which is good. And then you need to make sure that your Fire Inferno is faster than your Dark Phantom Thief. Right now that's not the case, but why do I say that? Because if the Fire Inferno does the second skill, Hellfire, it decreases their defense. If you have a decent amount of accuracy on him, which you should get if you want to use him, I think, you should get this, or you should change the energy to focus. That's maybe even better. Get a decent amount, and then you could do a second skill, get their defense broken, and then you could one-shot one of the units, if not already dead, with your Dark Phantom Thief, and the other ones that are still there, you just pick out their DPS. So that could work really well. Obviously you could also go with a big AoE team like Tyrone, Satyr and the Fire Inferno with Megan, for example. But I think the other team is a bit more just stronger because you have a bit more variety in your units. But you have quite a lot of options. I think Tyrone is one of the best units for your arena, and I think the Fire Inferno is pretty good in most situations. And I do think your Dark Fantasy will be a good addition. And then Bernard and or Megan. Something like that would be great. Yeah, I think that's it. Like for your defense, just put on your, like, you don't have any luxury position yet where you have your attack team ready to go. That is really good. So you have to work on that first, and then after that you can worry about your defense team. And I suggest when you get that to that point, it's gonna be your light team. Make Tyron lead, Amon, Darian, and Light Inagami, or something like Darian plus Neil. It's actually a pretty good combo, by the way. If you get Neil to 6-star at some point, like later game, this is something I have been thinking about. But if you get her, and then she's pretty tanky as well, putting Neil plus Darian in the same team, you know what, that's super annoying, because Darian makes your team defensive, because every damage you do on another unit, except for Darian, has 15% less damage taken. And if those units are pretty tanky, it's hard to kill them. But if you focus Darian, Neil is going to use their shield on Darian, so you cannot kill him. So that's pretty good. I have seen that in Arena. I was thinking maybe I should do that. But for now, this is going to be your review, and I'll go to the next review. You actually got a good team. I think your Giants team is almost ready. So yeah, keep doing it. I'll be right back with the next review. Okay, I'm back with Shadoq. Shadoq. Don't know how to pronounce it, but it doesn't really matter. He wrote a big comment to me. Hey Blacky, I would like to have a review. I don't know what I should build with my runes exactly, if it's good or not. Arena defense is also quite okay. It doesn't say that really, but it means like my arena defense, I'm not sure about it. I don't know how my offense is. I'm working on my wind team for Giants B10 and Dragons. I don't get higher in TO8 stage 49. I want a bet. He just stated that he wants a Chloe. What, like, basically you ask like every possible question you could ask. I know you're quite let me see this. I know quite a lot. He also said that he made his Megan faster but broke the set. He's farming violent runes but doesn't run so well. So what should I do? Farm violent runes for my light, for my vagabond, Baladon, egg cases, Bernard, Pixie, farm moms to skill. Okay, you basically want to know everything, right? So let me just go into this and see what you want. You say, what should I 6-star next? I say, what would I say? Well, to be honest, if you're working on your, I mean, first of all, you need to prioritize what you want to do, right? So first of all, if you want to go for Giants B10, then just do your cases, because she kind of needs to be 6-star to do that thing. If you're not doing that, you might want to do like Neil, because you probably use Neil a lot because you have the Katrina, right? Well, I would say make sure what you prioritize on, and I think Giants B10 is your first priority right now. Reason being is because then you could get some nice runes for some people of some of your units. Don't worry about the violent runes right now. To be honest, I mean, your Light Megami, your Darian, and all those units are very nice with violent runes, but it's not. You cannot do everything at the same time. I would say first make a Giants team, then make an arena offense team, and then make an arena defense team. That's what I suggest. So I would focus on Acacius first to make him 6-star and get the other units for the giants to 5-star and ruined up. That's what I would do. Your question about your arena offense and defense. At first, it will be your offense will be your defense. The reason for that is because you don't really have a choice. You can't work on two teams at the same time, except when those teams are going to be exactly the same, but that is not going to be the case. For your offense, you need... Well, it's pretty clear to me what you want to do with offense. I mean, you have two leaders, right? You have a Tyrone, which is probably the better unit, but is a slower leader skill. And you have the Izari, which is a better leader skill, but a bit less good as a monster overall. So what you want to do is just check what defense you'll fight, and if you know you need to outspeed them for sure, you go with Izari. But if you think you can take him on with Tyrone, that you can outspeed him with Tyrone, then you take Tyrone. Then you probably use Megan as one of your buffers. She has a decent amount of speed. It's fine that you broke the set, and I see that you're trying to upgrade this, so that's good. And it doesn't really matter that you broke the set, because your stats are still decent, and you have a decent amount of speed. So that's good. Definitely doing a good job there. So let's see. We use Tyron, or what's her name? Izaria, Megan, and then it's just basically it's or Lucian or Katrina or both. You could run Katrina without using Neil. Let me just see. But then there's something that needs to be done. Her speed is one. Let me see. A bit too high if you say it. 125, right? And his speed is 118. You want to make your Lucian faster then? The reason for that is actually pretty simple. Because if your Lucian is faster, you could do this setup. You could, for example, take Tyrone, Megan, Lucian and Katrina. But then if Lucian goes first, he throws the amputation magic, and then your Katrina goes, you could finish one unit off probably with Katrina, giving her that immunity, or immunity, what it's called. Yes, gain immunity. Then you gain immunity, and the next turn you can do Sword of Discharge. That's something that could work out pretty well. Also, you could go for a bit more defensive team where Katrina will be a DPS. In that order, I would go with Tyrone, Neil, and Aemon and her. So Aemon is there to sustain you. Neil is there to give the shield to Katrina to make that big hit. And Tyrone is there to control. That's also a thing you can do. And if you know that you're faster than them, you could even only take Megan as lead and drop Tyrone out. But that's against teams that are slow and tanky. Then that team would work quite well. Because Megan could outspeed them. Aemon will keep you alive. And Neil will make sure, also keep you alive, but also make sure that this unit can do his Sword of Discharge. I think you have some pretty good offensive options here. I only would suggest trying to get Katrina a bit slowed down or your Lucian a bit faster. I'm not sure how you're gonna do that because it's not easy or something. You could maybe get, I don't know, you maybe could switch some runes around that makes this possible. Because I don't know where, like, she doesn't gain much speed, but where does she gain it from? Is there one rune? No, there's like 3 runes, right? Yeah. So basically what you want to try to do is get this Lucian a little bit faster. If it's kind of hard, but you don't need that much more speed. But then the setup will be like 10 times better. Because if you do it now, Katrina will hit something, and then Lucian goes over it, and then the next turn she still cannot use it when you kind of want to use it. But it's still a viable option because her Soul Reaper will still do decent damage. So yeah, that was your review. I'm not 100% sure if I got all your questions. Uh, did I check your runes on your cases and shit, or did you not rune them up yet? Yeah, you're not done yet. But you got the good runes on it at least. Same goes for her. Yeah, you're doing a good job with runing. I think you know what you want to do with the runes. Make your Griffin the fastest on the Giants team, and that will work out pretty well. Yeah. I'm not 100% sure if I did everything, but if not, let me know in the comments and I might be able to answer them there. Okay, be right back with the next review. Okay, I'm back with summonerxX. His question was, can you help me please with who to 6-star first? And with my arena defense and runes. So let's check it out. I already checked his account, so I'm pretty sure about what I should 6-star. I would go 100% for Lucian. Arnold is also a good option as being first, but Lucian will be more beneficial for you. 1. Because of arena, Lucian is a powerhouse. 2. Because Lucian will help you through a lot of PvE content as well. For example, some of the Hall of Magics and Hall of Light, all those dungeons Lucian is doing really well. So Lucian just gives you more, well, he will just be more useful overall than Arnold will be as being the first. I mean, obviously Arnold is a good first 6-star, but because you have a Lucian, that's why I say Lucian. Your defense team, yeah, let's see what we got here. We have no speed leader. Do we have a speed leader? The Verdale, but it's not for arena. He is only in dungeons. You do have the Megan, which is good. This will be in your arena defense probably. Well, you have Beretta, the fire self. Okay, let me. Yeah, okay, that was it. Come on. Let me think real quick. I think what you want to do is make an arena offense team that is just good, just a good arena offense team, and then put that in your defense. And after that, make a defensive team. I think that's what you should do. I mean, there is an option for you to actually go make your offense team that is going to be your defense later on as well, apart from Lucian. Because what you could do is, for example, get your Beretta, that's the fire self up to 5-star and awakened, make that your speed leader. Beretta, and then go with Arnold and Jojo, and for example Megan or the Verdale. That could actually work out pretty well. But I don't think that's the best way to go about it. I think the better way to go about it is to get like us an offense team, that is. Still get your Beretta up and leveled, because you need him for your speed leader, because you don't have anything else as speed leader. And then use Megan for the buffs, and Lucian, and then you could add or Arnold or Clara. I think I like Clara more, because Clara gives you the stuns from her last skill, and also provides you with, since you rune them up with Despair, provides you with some good extra stuns. So I think that team will work pretty well. And then I would rune Beretta with Despair as well. Despair, and then like speed on 2, attack percent on 4, and accuracy percent on 6 maybe? Nah, I think I would just get that from substats, because then just get accuracy from substats, so get on 6 attack percent as well. Then you have a real stun heavy team, which also does a good amount of damage, which is good. Plus your Clara has a chance to dispel, which is good. I do suggest you get this as an 8 accuracy percent rune, and then these two slots 2 and 4 being attack percent. That's what I would do, and then get that team like really beefed up, because Clara is going to be useful for Trail of Ascension later on as well, so that's always good. Lucian is going to be useful for a long time, and Megan is going to be useful, and Beretta is going to be useful for Trail of Ascension and other stuff. So all these units are very useful to get them up and 6-starring them and ruining them up. So it's worth to invest your time in them. And then I would put those in defense, and later on I would switch out some of your units for defense. I would still use a speed leader there. I would definitely use Arnold there. I think I would use Amon as well for defense. So let me think what we have right now. We got Amon as a healer, a speed leader that's Beretta with stuns, Arnold that provides you with some tanky unit there. What would I add? I would add another stun unit. I think you would get Darian in there, something like that. Something like that could be your defense later on. You could also go. You could also make your Verdale a defensive unit. You might say, what defensive unit? Well, the thing is, you don't. Obviously, you can make him having a lot of attack, but because he is a guy that busts your attack gauge constantly, if you could get like immunity on your team and Verdale in, you could make it that your team attacks like a lot more often than the enemy's team, which is good. But I think for the beginning I would just focus on that Beretta. I'm not sure. I get the feeling that you use them for fusion, right? But to be honest, you need a speed leader, and this is the only one you have, so I wouldn't fuse him away. You could get another one, but I'm seeing that you have the units for fusion, so. But you need a speed leader, so either you get one again, another Fire Sylph, or you just hold off from the summoning right now, or the fusing, sorry. Or you get lucky and get a Tyrone, for example. But for now you need her quite bad, and she's really good, man. She's really good for Trail of Ascension. They're being used quite a lot for there, because she has great skills for the Trail of Ascension. But that's up to you. Okay, so yeah, I think your runes are doing a fine job, but I must say, like, these runes are all really low. Like get this to +9 and get these other ones upgraded. Finish them out. Try to focus that. Try to focus on that first, because I mean, furthermore, your runes are fine. Like breaking your set or whatever, that's all. You're doing a great job with that, but you need to get these runes like upgraded to some, like this rune. You need to get him to +6 and see if there's a speed subset on, right? This rune you could +9 it. It will cost money obviously, but I mean that makes the unit so much better. So get that done, and that will help you quite a lot. Okay, this is your review. I'll be right back with the next review. Okay, back with the ubisoft1. His question was how to do Giants B6 auto mode. Let me think. Is B6, is that a light? Yeah, that's light, right? The light one. How to do it auto mode? Just get a team that's foolproof. Now I'll check it out what I can do for you, man. You're not. I think it's quite hard for you to do B6 auto mode already, because you probably don't have access to all kind of runes and stuff. Your wind vampire is pretty good, because you could use him as leader and take any kind of element with you that gains a lot of resist, and resistance is pretty key to be able to do the giants on auto. So I think that vampire is definitely something you should use as leader for the giants runs. Then what is very important to use is debuffs, like debuffs that help you survive. So I think if you make your vampire lead, now you need to find something that has a debuff, and I think Bernard is going to be your best bet. This is a unit you want to use later on anyway, so I would suggest getting him up. make sure to get enough accuracy so his stuff hit, so his body slam hits. You're doing a good job there. I would make this HP percent and this HP percent, or actually make this a speed rune and this HP percent. But you're working on it. So now we have the vampire that provides you. I think he provides you also with a speed debuff and attack debuff, which is actually pretty good. I still think you need Bernard because he's a bit more. He's a bit more than just body slam. He also speeds up your team, and that's really useful. So now we need a healer. I see you already have the Rakaya, and that's great because he's a great healer. Just make sure that these two runes are gonna be HP percent instead of attack percent, because he doesn't need any attack. So then we have Vampire, Rakaya, and Bernard. To be honest, because you have the Wind Vampire, I would use your Megan instead, because he's already a lot higher level than the Wind Pixie that you probably have somewhere down the list. You will miss the glancing hit, but what Megan's brings that is pretty good is her second skill. You could take away their attack, so basically this will help you as well. So I think that's just fine. And also her Crowd of Summoning could add some dots if you rune her with some decent accuracy. So let me see, we have the Vampire, Megan, Rakaya, and Bernard. So we kind of have all the things we want. You might have to check out if you have enough survivability or not, because I think you might need a bit more survivability with this team, because you don't have enough cases, which normally provides you with survivability. So you could bring Amon for heals if he's ruined enough, but currently he's not reliable. So for now I would definitely use your ninja as being the next unit to take with you, because he can take down the giants pretty fast with the continuous damage dots. So that's the team that I would run for you. You might need some more sustain, and then you need another healer. I think Amon is a great unit for that, but you need him to be 100% crit, which it's not. You ruined him probably fine. Well, actually he didn't. Make this HP percent and make this HP percent, because it's useless to have attack on him, and accuracy is not needed. He doesn't need to get that provoke off. It's just not needed. And what I would also suggest, make these two then blade runes, because that gives you 12% crit already, and if you upgrade this rune even more, you would get a lot more crit. You might even want to switch out another energy set and make that a blade rune set. That's what I would do if I were you. Just throw out these 4 runes, put blade runes on, make sure that 2 and 6 are HP percent, and then you'll gain 24% from the 2 blade runes. Plus, if you get some decent substats, you could get like 40% in total. So that's 16 crit from substats on 4 runes. That should be pretty possible, and then you get close to you'll get close to 100 when you get the plus 15 on this rune. So that's what I would do. Yeah, and then you can use him as your second healer, and then you'll probably be able to auto B6. So just a short review on that. Just need to work on those units that I said for the autoing if you want to do that. I think that's a great way to go about it, and because the vampire gives it to any kind of element unit, you can use some of the other elements as well, which is good. Just make sure you have some decent resistance on the units that you're gonna use, because that's important. Because if you want to use Amon, you want to get a bit more resist on substats, for example, because then he won't get stunned at all. Okay, this was your review, and this is also the last review for this video. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you all had something good out of it. If there's any questions about the things I said, please leave a comment, and I'll try to help you in the comment section. And I'll see the rest of you guys the next time. Bye!